Much like a Bodhi tree, the type of tree that Buddha sat under when he attained enlightenment. But no miracles happened here, though it is called the magic tree. The magic was sound. Loudspeakers hung in branches broadcast revolutionary songs throughout Choeung Ek. At night, it is said they gave outsiders the impressions of a Khmer Rouge meeting. In fact, the music was to drown out the screams of people being murdered. It's hard to imagine what the prisoners waiting in detention must have thought when they first heard the songs. This may well have been one of them. The music blended with the noise of a diesel generator to create a true nightmare of sound. These were the last sounds the victims ever heard. Of all the graves here at Choeung Ek, this may well be the most difficult to think about. The victims who died here were women and children, more than 100 of them. Most of the women who were pushed into this pit had been stripped of their clothes. It is said that some of the buried women had been raped as well. But there was worse to come. Babies died here too. Many were killed before their mothers' eyes. Do you see that big tree nearby? It is called the killing tree. Soldiers grabbed babies by their legs, smashed their heads against it, then tossed them into the pit. All this at night, in the glare of fluorescent lights. And as I'll explain soon, with the sound of revolutionary music too. Why kill children? Why this brutal way? First, it was quick and easy. Also, when one member of a family was murdered, all the rest were often killed too, so no one would be left alive to seek revenge. Another Khmer Rouge slogan: to dig up the grass, one must remove even the roots. Every 2 or 3 months, the staff of the center gather rags, bones, and teeth that have come up to the surface. The cloth inside this box have been collected since 1980. Though most are just rags, if you look at them closely, you will see some that belonged to children. They are here to help us think about the people who came to this place and never left. You may also see strips of cloth used for blindfolds or cords for making hammocks that were used to bind hands. All has been preserved. In 1979, when Pol Pot was finally overthrown, he fled with what was left of the Khmer Rouge to the Thai border. For 10 more years, the last decade of the Cold War, the West continued to fear communism, and our country remained isolated from much of the world. Because Vietnam had established our new government, many countries refused to recognize us. Meanwhile, the Khmer Rouge regrouped in the jungle. Incredibly, they, the Khmer Rouge, were still recognized as our legitimate leaders by most first world countries: the United Kingdom, the United States, Australia, France, and Germany. And by their Chinese allies too. Yes, the Khmer Rouge were given a seat in the UN, sent representatives to New York City. They even received financial aid while we struggled to put our country back together. It's hard to believe, but that's what happened. And Pol Pot? He continued as leader of the Khmer Rouge for almost 20 more years. In 1997, when the group split into factions, he was finally put under house arrest. He died less than a year later. Maybe poisoned by those who had once obeyed his every whim. But his life had been good. He had married a second wife and enjoyed his grandchildren. It is said that he listened to Voice of America every day on the radio. When he died, he was 73 years old. Some of his victims didn't even reach the age of 2.